Hi guys. So yesterday, I saw a tweet that claimed to have spoilers on the next mainline Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 9, and there were some very interesting points there. So today, I thought I would just read through them and give you my opinion on them. So let's just do that. Okay, so here is so here's the tweet. It's from this account, Rhino the Bouncer, and it's rumors Resident Evil 9. So we're just gonna read this, and as we go, I'll comment on a few things. So the first thing we have is titled Apocalypse, like its predecessor Village, combining the 9 Roman numerals with the name Apocalypse. Okay, so right here I can see that they're turning the L into the I, and they're turning the Y into an X. Um, I feel like they could have chosen a different name so that you wouldn't have to change a complete letter of the main name. Like, for example, extermination. That way you wouldn't have to change a complete letter of a name. Next, we have the last game. This is the last game to start longtime franchise lead Chris Redfield, but it won't end with his dead as he's still alive 16 years later. To keep an eye on Rose Winters, and Jill will survive as well. Hmm. Okay, I like Chris. Please don't get me wrong, I like Chris. But I feel like it's always the same people. I get that they're fan favorites and that they sell well. I am happy Jill will survive. I like Jill. I just feel like there are so many other characters they could have chosen. So many characters that have so much more potential with a good story. So to me, this is kind of it's always Chris. He's everywhere. Single player, no co-op. That is to be expected. A little sad because I like co-op, but that's not a deal breaker. Then we have Jill Valentine returns and plays a similar role to Ada in Resident Evil 4. I don't like that. I don't like that. I wish. Um, I want Jill to be front and center. Like, her story is so compelling and a little more interesting than Chris's. So I wish she was like the front and center. Maybe like switch Chris with Jill, and that might be better. Next, we have the story follows Chris as he heads towards the BSAA in Europe right after the end of Resident Evil Village, without mentioning the story and continuity of the Winters. I don't have a lot to say about this, but it does seem like they're really eager to get rid of the Winters. Okay. I don't have much to say about that point. The game has been in development for 2 years, only 2 years, with recycled assets from Village and Resident Evil 4. This is contrary to the reports by Aesthetic Gamer 1, who stated that in the development has been that it's been developed for 6 and 7 years. Reused assets. I mean, that's not unheard of. Okay, that's not unheard of. So I don't know. I don't know. 2 years seems like a very short time for a video game of this kind. Next, we have Claire Redfield makes a brief appearance. Why only a brief appearance? Like, Claire has been involved with a lot of companies, excluding Resident Evil Revelations 2, where she was part of TerraSave. So I don't know about this. Brief appearance usually means she has one scene. Leon and Ada will make an appearance in Resident Evil 9. Okay, I don't mind that. They just appeared in Remake, so they're very fresh on everyone's memories. Rebecca Chambers and Barry Burton won't be present as well. See, these are the characters that I want to see more of. These are the ones that need games, but okay. The game's ending involves a sacrifice of a loved one. They really like these sacrifices. We already had one in Village, but okay, I guess they're going with this. Next, we have mythical enemies are expected to appear, previously reported to be Wendigo-like creatures, and there will be an explanation to them, as the franchise has no supernatural elements, but rather science fiction explaining creatures through biological experiments. Okay, this I like. I think this is interesting for them to experiment with something other than zombies and mold. So I do like this. This might be interesting if they play the cards right. Zombies are said to return partially. Granted, it's a Resident Evil game. Then we have another castle reminiscent of those with Ramon Salazar, and Lady Domitresque will be present. Another castle? Seriously? I mean, can't you make other locations other than a castle? I don't know about this. I think we've already had our share of castles. And lastly, we have official reveal is coming around October/November. Okay, and right here we have the image of what it's set to look like. So we have quite a lot of news. I do want to touch up on some of the points I've mentioned briefly. So let's do that. The one I do want to touch up upon a bit more is this one, the mythical creatures and experiments. I think this one is very interesting because, yeah, Resident Evil is usually a lot about zombies and parasites, so them trying to experiment with more different creatures of folklore, I think it's very interesting. And like I said, if they play the cards right, this could be very, very good. So that I am very looking forward to. However, Chris, look, I have nothing against Chris. I just think he's overused at this point. I think that they could have maybe used Jill as a main character, but because we haven't seen much of her, especially ever Resident Evil 5. Um, I just feel like Chris has always been there. I know he's one of the faces of the franchise, but like I said, I feel like other characters would have been better to lead the game because they're new. We don't know a lot about them, and I think that's one of the reasons why Resident Evil 7 was so well received. Not only did they return to the roots, but it was a completely new character, and you wanted to know that character. So this is one of the things I'm a little on the fence about. This I want Jill front and center. Like, why can't she be the one to be front and center? Why does it always have to be Chris? Yeah, Claire making a brief appearance. I hope this is not true because I do want to see Claire again. This again, like I said, these two characters need to reappear. We need to know what they're up to. They are both interesting characters, especially Barry after Revelations 2. That I really wish they were the ones in this game. This, another castle. Please no. Do something else with a castle. I don't know. A circus. Something different. Something we haven't seen before. I do want to touch up again on the logo here. It is a nice name, Apocalypse. It has punch to it. However, the fact that they had to completely change one letter to fit in the Roman number, I feel like that was a bad choice. Like I said before, maybe they should have used a word that already had an X in it. It might have been easier. I suggested extermination. That's just. I'm pretty sure this is not going to change. Like I'm pretty sure the names are decided quite early on. But I do wish that this isn't final. I have asked people what they think, and I've been getting mixed reviews. Some think that it's creative and they like it, and some other people think that they don't like it. Uh, Seeing it like this makes them question how to pronounce it. You can tell it's Apocalypse, but the fact that they put an X on the Y, um, they don't like it. I mean, to each their own. Not everyone's gonna like everything. Unfortunately, I also don't like it. I've said my reasons, but again, I'm not a game developer. Maybe they probably know much better than me. Um, and I think that's pretty much it. A lot of this does not make me excited, um, which is it's a shame. Um, uh, yeah, I mean, I understand why they chose Chris as the main lead, though. We've been seeing them remaking every single one of their games. And most likely they're gonna remake Resident Evil 5. And what better way to make hype to Resident Evil 5, which stars Chris and to make a new game where he's the lead. They make people interested in him again. I mean, again, not everyone's always interested in Chris. He punched a boulder. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a marketing strategy. I also don't know how to feel about that. I hope I'm wrong. I just feel like they have so much potential, and they have so many interesting characters that I feel will make such a compelling story. Um, Hell, Natalia from Revelation 2. I feel like if they were to expand upon her and her character, I feel like they would reach new realms of horror. This is just my opinion, but I feel like with Natalia, they could go with a psychological horror approach, and I think that would be very interesting. And the Wendigos might fit a bit better. I don't know. Um, I just feel like it's very interesting. For those of you who don't know, like Natalia is she. How do I put this? She's two people in one body, one of whom is a Wesker. The story just writes itself, and I just think it would be so interesting to, I don't know, do something with that. Um, so yeah, I feel like there. So yeah, I feel like there are better, in my opinion, there are better choices than Chris. I mean, I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing, but based on these little out leaks, I'm not very excited. Again, I am taking all of this with a grain of salt, and so should you, because we don't know. This, all of this may be a gigantic lie, but it could also be true. We don't know. Leaks have been true in the past. So yeah, all in all, I'm not very excited about it. So that was the video. Please let me know what you guys thought of the leaks and let me know your opinions on them. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.